It's the day after the Mello final.
Which can only mean one thing. We had technical issues last night. Yay!
Yeah, we did.
So,
we're gonna take you through the final retrospectively, but we're gonna show you some of the clips from our reaction.
yeah, so we're kind of reacting to our reaction. And actually,
That's
I
what
think
we're
this
doing
will be good because we've had a night to sleep on it. So you get our emotional reaction, but now you get a bit more of our measured reaction as well. So we hope it's a nice balance.
Yes, let's watch it back.
Yeah, let's start. Shiny!
Woo! Oh! It's a
disco remix!
disco version.
So the first song of the night was Klara Hammarström with a song called Run to the Hills. It was, I think, our least favourite heading into the final.
It was our least favorite.
So what we were hoping was that she would have improved on her vocal performance. So we'll see how she did and how we found it.
It hasn't been terrible.
No, it actually hasn't. But here comes the ad lib that. Come on. I actually want her to hit it. I want her to hit it.
Yeah.
Come on, do it. You've got it. You've got it. Shh. She copped out. She copped out. Basically, they're like, yeah, you didn't hit it. You have to play it safe.
So, yeah, she did improve vocally, but
She didn't hit that E note. She just went up to a C sharp.
If you want to be specific about it. Now, speaking as someone who's had a lot of vocal coaching and isn't the best ad-libber, I have been told previously to always have a safe ad-lib in my back pocket in case something that I want to go for, it doesn't feel like it's going to work. I don't think I can hit the note. I'm not feeling confident. And I feel like that's what's happened. Her vocal coach said, you didn't hit that note at all. If you don't feel like you can do it, do this instead. And she did something that was far more in her comfort zone, and it worked to her benefit.
It was a better note, but I think people have started learning this song now and they will know that she played it safe.
Yes, because in the studio version, she does that. Run to the hill.
Exactly.
Okay, so who is next?
It was Theoz. He was number 2 again.
Yeah, Theoz was number 2, and it felt like running up to it, this was going to be the party starter.
And was it the party starter? Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah! I love it when they feel confident enough to do like a come on thing. Yeah! Oh, I love. Oh, he could. Oh! Yeah!
Apparently the pyro was really loud, so he was a bit scared.
I can hear the pyro. I heard the pyros clicking the whole time. Oh, that's really good.
He brought the party, he brought the pyro, and he had sparkles on his tracksuit. I was feeling Theoz's performance.
It got people going. He went out in the audience, and it was overall a much more outward performance than Klara's.
Honestly, as the evening went on, I didn't remember Klara's, but I did remember Theoz.
Yeah, and I think it just got better and better the first few songs.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, because the next one was Bergendahl.
Bergendahl.
Yes, and this was another one that we weren't really feeling, and last week we felt that she wasn't the strongest. So again, we were hoping for a much improved vocal there. So let's see how she did.
Ooh, a little. Like it. So much better! Not perfect, but better! But you gotta commit. Even if you don't hit it, if you hit it with confidence, it's 10 times better.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the difference.
Bergendahl made a huge improvement. She came out, and from the first second of her song, she was giving everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You can really tell that.
And most importantly, Johannes was still convinced that they were zebras in the background. Very important. I still hate the hat, but I like that she took her hair down. It felt like it was almost a metaphor for her letting go, taking her hair out of that tight bun. she delivered it with such confidence. I was so proud of her. She did so well.
She was really going for it.
Head and shoulders above semi-final. Okay, so now we took a completely different turn. Number 4 was
Jon Lundvik, first ballad.
Yeah, the only, I would say the only ballad. So he's a big Mello pro. It's a big song. Let's see how he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just dark in the
I just got goosebumps. I just got huge goosebumps. Like literal shiver up the spine.
It's gospel.
He's crying and I'm crying.
I love how this song builds.
Yeah. So Jon Lundvik changed one thing, and it was this shot behind him where the whole audience had these white lights, and that changed the whole evening for me. That one shot was the turning point for me, in a good way, for sure.
Yeah, he did really well, and he also had some fun with the ad-libs in the end, and he can just do that so effortlessly.
The thing that most impressed me is he was, and please correct me if I'm wrong, he was the only artist all night that wasn't singing over a pre-recorded voice.
No, that song you can't really put overdubs on. It needs to be just his voice, but nailing it like he did, that's not a problem for him.
No, absolutely not. And it just, beautiful. I was underwhelmed by the song in the heats, but last night it was the turning point for the whole evening for me. It sold me. I was in.
And at this point, it just felt like a big celebration of music. It just kept coming, good song after good song.
Yeah. Who was number 5?
Sekelius.
Yes, my favourite heading into the final. We knew she was going to nail it. Again, it was just a case of how she was going to nail it. Was the dress going to be the same? Let's find out.
Ooh. I think they've added more voices there.
Yeah.
Yes! Ooh! Oh! That's new! Whoa! Yes!
The pirate.
Yeah, she didn't have the shower. Look at all this!
That was Torna. Now, I've had the night to sleep on this, and I think I understand a bit more how I felt about it. It's not that I think that she did worse. It's not that I think that the song was not as good or anything like that. If anything, she did better and better. But I don't think I got the same feeling as I did last week, because it felt like she poured everything into one-upping for the semi-final to get into the final. That when she did it in the final, I felt like I'd already seen everything that she had.
Yes. It felt like there was nothing left to do differently with this song, so it was pretty much the same kind of performance, same kind of confidence, though. That was a good thing.
Oh, yeah. And
As
same level of vocal.
Yeah, as the semi-final. Nothing new that got us like, what?
Yeah, nothing that made me like, but the new pyro was great. That was just like a shower of glitter in the background. 100% here for that. And then, next.
Yeah, I think we should just watch this and see Becky's reaction.
I have no shame. I'm not ashamed about this. Go.
If anyone ever doubted that I love these songs,
It's just getting better and better, isn't it?
it really is. Oh my god. Oh god. This has to win. It won't, but I want it to so badly.
I'm crying watching it back. That song makes me cry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it felt like it was just building up to this one. And he did so well. And the change in confidence, like first in the heat, he was struggling a lot with his hearing and felt a bit tense.
Yeah, and then this time he just came out and like he was ad-libbing. He had a lot more. He was speaking with his hands, and that's like an age-old singing trick.
It just felt like he had something to say with his song.
And that he believed in it, and it spoke to me and a lot of other people on a very, very high level, and to the point where I'm just watching back a 30-second clip of it and still bursting into tears. That's the effect that this song has on me and a lot of people in Sweden. So before I start crying again, do you think we should maybe move on to the next song?
Yeah, next song, really happy song. And I think you're going to be able to tell that from our reaction too.
And it is
Robin Bengtsson.
with Innocent Love. Let's watch it.
Hey, look at him! I'm so proud of Robin.
With the camera.
I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him. He's like, come on, ad-lib, come on, do it. Yes! Ah! He doesn't hit that in the studio version. And he should, because this is so good. This is so much better live. With a
Yeah, I love that song. It's such
It's
a good
very good.
song.
You would think that it was going to be very slick, but he really went for it.
He was a completely different person. He was way more relaxed, way more confident, and you could tell with the ad-lib for me.
And as I've said before, I Can't Go On. It was more a Eurovision song, and it got all of the international jury's votes. But this is still a very good song. It's not a winner, but you could tell that he had a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And that was the important thing, I think, for him to just come out and be himself on stage.
Yeah.
So who was number 8? Because I actually can't remember now.
Number 8. That
But
must
it
have been
was
Faith Kakembo.
Kakembo, yes.
Yeah.
She got straight through to the final by 1 point, and we were hoping for a more comfortable vocal. She was pushing really hard, and because of that, she was a bit flat on the top notes. Let's see what happened.
She's pushing too hard. We spoke about it earlier.
It's very hard to sing, and they could have written the song another way.
Yeah. This is kind of what happens when you have a song that's written and then you try and find someone to sing your song instead of writing a song for somebody. She got into it. Yeah. She got into it. It took a couple, but she did it.
Freedom by Faith Kakembo, and like I said, she got into it. She settled into it.
Yeah, but I think this song would have benefit from like a wow experience, and like I didn't get that from her vocals. She does very well in the verses, like gives you expectations where this is gonna go. But like I said in the reaction, I think the chorus is so hard to sing, and they should have considered writing it differently.
Yeah, it's climbing up to the top note, and if you have the kind of voice like hers that relies a lot on what we call chest voice, it's easy to push it too hard, and if you're pushing, then you don't have as much control, and I could
and
get
it's
really
always a
technical with
risk
it.
nailing that high note.
Exactly, and being flat, which she was for the first few, but when she got into it, she got the backing singers / dancers on the stage. That gave her the confidence, and she did hit it a few times at the end, which was great.
Yes.
Like, it was an improvement, for sure an improvement, but for me, it wasn't enough of an improvement to give it that wow factor you talked about.
Exactly.
Number 9.
I had really high expectations from this one, and there was something that you knew that I didn't know was going to happen.
Now, I had been spoiled on Instagram about some of the changes that were going to happen. This one, I knew Johannes would have something to say about.
We haven't said which one it is yet.
Very good point, Johannes. Which song are we talking about?
Liamoo.
I
Bluffin.
just keep on bluffing.
Let's see.
Oh. That's the reaction. Oh. Oh. The dancers really add something. Yeah! And they're doing, oh, this is so good. Yes, it needed the dancers. 100%.
I have never seen Johannes that animated about any song in Eurovision, or at least Mello, ever.
I really love that song. I really love the performance. And because it was so early in the heat, I had almost forgotten that he was alone on stage. It did feel like the dancers were part of the performance all along.
Yeah. So in his intro, he said that he'd listened to the feedback from the Swedish public and he will no longer be alone on stage. But you didn't hear it because we were actually making tacos at the same time as recording this because we just didn't have time to eat beforehand.
Classic Mello.
Classic Mello food. But yeah, and then the dancers came in the second chorus.
That was really clever as well.
And the way the camera panned, and then suddenly the dancers were just like swaggering on stage. And sometimes they did different things, and sometimes they did the same thing. It was the little cherry on top of the cake, but his vocal was perfect. The song was excellent. The staging was mwah. Like, what a great performance from Liamoo.
Yeah, I would have been happy if this won.
So, following on from Bluffin,
another really strong song.
the favorite heading into the final, it was Cornelia Jakobs with Hold Me Closer.
So effortless.
I understand what people mean now. That it's like a Eurovision song.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the best Eurovision song we have. If we want to win, we send this one. But I want Anders to win. But I would not be upset if this one won. I've started crying again. Just thought you'd appreciate the update.
Yep, it started with Jon Lundvik, and I don't think I stopped crying until all the songs were done. So, yeah.
No, it was just good song after good song again.
Honestly, this year's Mello is the best.
Back to Cornelia.
What is there to say? It's a beautiful song. The staging is so simple. She sings it perfectly. It's pure simplicity. It is absolute best, and I love that song.
Also, with a very bittersweet love song like this, how she, despite that, manages to interact with the audience. That's very good artistry, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. She's singing to people in the audience. It was one of the first things I was taught when I was like 10. Pick somebody in the audience and sing to them.
Yeah.
It's the simplest way to engage with an audience, and
it makes people believe in what you're saying.
It makes such a huge difference. Song number 11, the penultimate number of the night, was
Cazzi Opeia.
Ooh. Now, the song that I say every time we mention this song, it cannot be understated. I hear this song everywhere.
I must say I felt a bit bad because it was the same after Bagge, which was a really big song and a really big favorite. Bengtsson, another male singer, came, and I felt bad for him. And I got the same feeling here after Cornelia, another female singer with
singer-songwriter transition to more of a performer.
Yeah,
similar
and this
kind of
song is
story.
not as big, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
It's a very cute song. It's grown on me a lot. It really has.
Let's see how she did yesterday.
Yes.
Also some twang in her voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pushing a bit harder without pushing too hard.
Yes.
Just
Exactly.
stronger. And it helps so much. Her and Anna both, like, head and shoulders above last week. And they were, like, she especially was very good last week. She made a really big improvement. Every time I've seen her perform, it's just got better and better and better.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, Cazzi! Oh, more, I should say, but yes!
Yeah, no, it's such a cute song, and as I said, every single time she's got more confident, and with the confidence has come a better vocal performance.
Yeah, much more convincing this time, I would say, especially in the bridge.
Yeah, and she was like interacting with the camera a bit more. She feels a bit more confident in her movement, little facial expressions, winks and things like that. It just shows you that she's relaxed enough on stage to be able to interact in that way.
Yeah, and I'd understand more what kind of song, what kind of performance this is. I don't get the trying to be many things
Yeah.
feeling anymore.
My first thing was that this is just a riff off of another song, but the more I've heard it, the more I'm like, do you know what? No, it's its own song, and she's her own artist, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought she got better and better and better. So she did amazingly, amazingly well, and I hope this isn't the last we hear of her as well.
Yeah.
And then the big final, Medina!
In dimman. This was another favorite of ours.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very good chanting song. And I said I wouldn't have minded if this won, and it didn't feel like impossible that it was going to win.
No, this performance, well, let's see how it went.
Yeah! Yes! It's such a party song. I'm getting goosebumps. Let's do it! Yeah!
Yes, what a party song.
Oh my gosh, what a way to end. It was so good. It didn't need any changes. I don't think there were any changes. It was just mwah, as it was. Absolute perfection.
Yeah, we're going to talk a bit more about Medina later, but let's watch our reactions to the points from the international jury.
In the Mello final, it's split 50-50 between an international jury vote, there were 8 juries this year, and the public vote, of which there are 7 age groups plus the phone votes.
Yeah.
They did it like Eurovision. They did the international jury votes first, and then they gave out the public points. So let's see how the international juries voted.
Yeah, I've done a little montage of the 12 points go to, which is also the name of our channel.
That's us! He said the name!
And
Please
let's see how we reacted.
Please subscribe.
Run to the hills.
Give it up for Medina. Our 12 points go to Som du vill.
Hold me closer.
12 points go to Änglavakt.
No, men va? Bluffin.
Go to
Bluffin. Told you! Yes!
Cornelia.
Yeah.
12 points.
Oh.
Go to Hold Me Close.
Yeah.
12 points go to
Hold me closer.
Hold Me Closer.
Yeah.
but we thought she would.
Yeah.
So we started out kind of like, ah! And then as it got more predictable, it was like, ah.
It was funny because Som du vill was in the lead for the longest time.
Yeah, the producers obviously decide in which order we're going to go to the juries to see what's going to make the points most exciting. The juries voted on a show that took place on Friday night, so like a second rehearsal type thing. So they weren't voting on the same performance as ours. But
it got more predictable towards the end.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, why we didn't get as excited or surprised in the end was because we pretty much thought that the international jury would give Cornelia the highest score
Yes.
because it feels, like we've said before, very much like a Eurovision song.
Yeah, absolutely. But second was Bluffin. The jury seemed to really enjoy that song.
Yeah, and
Third was dimman.
Third was in dimman. This was fun because Ali and Sami from Medina, they wrote both their own song and Liamoo's song, so they were in the top 3.
They had 2 songs in the top 3 of the international jury. If you ever wanted proof that Medina are flipping awesome songwriters and producers, that is all the verification you need. Änglavakt also did really well. They do love a ballad, and he did it so well. Som du vill was 5th, which is so good. Freedom did a lot better than I thought it would. Bigger Than the Universe was 7th out of 12.
Yeah, it didn't get any 12 points.
It didn't get any points from a couple of juries, and this is the thing.
At all, yeah, no.
I think this kind of proves his performance is 50% about his actual ability, but it's also 50% his story, who he is, where he's come from, and it's difficult to portray that in one performance.
Yes, it's very good Swedish TV. It makes a really good show for us here in Sweden,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they would get the same feeling in other countries without that backstory.
No, I agree. Then we had My Way, Innocent Love. Run to the Hills came 10th. If I'm being brutally honest, I thought before this weekend that there was a solid chance Run to the Hills was going to win, because anytime I saw anything online about who do you think's going to win Mello, it was a huge split between Cornelia and Klara. But the juries did not like it.
Maybe the Swedish people thought that song was more international than it was.
Maybe.
But as I read in a review in a Swedish magazine, that might be the song that they play in small towns when they come in their Volvos.
Yeah, the raggare.
The raggare.
The raggare.
And I also read that Julia Ågård is a bit of a techno producer herself.
Just there.
So the techno influence is less of a surprise than...
Okay, that makes a bit more sense then. And then I Can't Get Enough was really low down, second last. I was really shocked by that, I have to say. Really surprised.
Another one that feels more international than it maybe was.
And then Higher Power came in last place. I was kind of expecting it to place quite low. She did really, really well, but I don't know. The song itself is nothing new, and it's a bit like country, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad for her because she might now be in the same group as Mariette and a bit older female artists that come back year after year, and they do well, but they never win.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So we did the international jury. We agreed with some of it. We didn't agree with all of it. The big thing that shocked me in a very good way is that the international juries finally picked songs in Swedish. And this absolutely proves that last year's Eurovision was pivotal in changing people's opinions about songs being in languages other than English. It can only be a good thing.
Yes. So number 3, In a Dimman, number 4, Änglavakt, and number 5, Som
du vill.
They were all in Swedish.
All in Swedish. Just goes to show that you don't have to be in English to be popular these days. And I love that so much.
Now we're going to watch our reaction to the people's vote.
Yes, the people's vote. 7 age groups plus telephone votes. And I'm not ashamed to say I made some telephone votes and all my free votes on the app this year.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
Cazzi Opeia.
I'm so shocked that this isn't doing better. It's everywhere.
She might get a lot of points now.
29.
Hammarström får
Will be. It's going to be one of the favourites.
56 poäng.
That's quite a few. That's quite chunky.
Bengtsson får 5 poäng.
No.
Boo! Boo, Sweden! Boo!
Sekelius får
This is where it's going to start getting interesting because look at what's up after Torna.
53 poäng.
Yes!
Oh, this is really bad.
This one actually could be big.
90
Yeah.
poäng.
Yeah. Yeah. But that basically means he got 12 from almost all of the groups.
Med Fate Kakembo får
96 is max points. I actually think that he may just have won it. 6 below maximum.
Theoz med Som du vill.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
26 poäng.
Yeah, that's really good. Well done. Honestly, I think that Anders Bagge might have just won it.
Lundvik får 17 poäng.
That's not terrible. That's really not terrible.
In i dimman får
If this gets something like 60, then that's it.
56 poäng.
That did really, really well. No, Medina didn't win.
No.
But it's okay.
Liamoo.
If he gets 40 or 50,
får
that's it.
26 poäng.
Oh, actually, this is going to be a lot closer than we think.
Cornelia Jakobs.
If it's 50, she's won.
They haven't said it. Okay, she won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she is literally like, I don't think she believed that it was going to happen. She did so well. But it's just such a great song. It deserves it. It really deserves it.
So, if that's proven anything, it's that I can't do quick maths. I was pretty convinced when Anders Bagge got 90 out of a possible 96 points. Like, that was the maximum that anyone could have got. And so many in the middle had like 40, 50. I didn't think there was enough points left for Cornelia to get what she needed. But then when they said it was 40, I was like, yeah, she's probably got enough. And then when she got 70, so she came in second, then it was pretty clear. But this sparks something interesting that I've had a night to sleep on, and I'm still not sure how I feel. So I'd like to ask you the question. Do you think that it's fair that the international jury can sway the vote in such a way that the Swedish public's clear favourite, actually isn't the one that's going to Eurovision?
I think that Mello, like you've said before, is a celebration of Swedish music, but it's also a selection for Eurovision. So I think it's quite good that they get an even split. Like, the international jury gets to help us a bit with what's going to do well in Eurovision, and the people's votes will reflect what all the people in Sweden think should win.
Yeah. I'm still not sure how I feel about this, I have to say, because there are some countries that the public get 100% of the say. There are some countries where it's done exactly as this. It's a split of international jury and the public. And then you have some countries like the UK where there isn't even a public say. It's literally just a record company went and picked this artist and we're going to send them to Eurovision. I don't know. I really don't know, because the public overwhelmingly wanted Anders Bagge to win. But it felt like everybody outside of Sweden was like, you have to send Cornelia.
I also think it would have been a bit weird if someone that the audience clearly did not want to go through would have been so favored from the international jury and gone through. But Cornelia was very clearly the second favorite. She was way above the third and fourth.
The joint third favourite from the Swedish public were Klara and Medina, both got 56. Torna was the fifth favourite technically. I Can't Get Enough was sixth. Bluffin and Somebody Vill joined seventh. So the Swedish public's opinion was quite different from the jury's opinion, but it felt like it did even itself out, I have to say.
Yes.
It's just whether, I think there's going to be a debate going on, how much sway the jury should have, what's the meaning behind Mello, that kind of thing. But fundamentally, do you think the right song won?
I think that song had qualities that were a step above everyone else, and even if it didn't have this positive overall message like Medina or Anders Bagge, I think it was a really good song, and I think it was a well-deserved winner.
I've said all along that if Sweden wants to win Eurovision, Sweden should send Cornelia. My head said Cornelia, but my heart said sometimes Torna and sometimes Anders Bagge. Yeah, I think the right song did win.
But I don't know if this is going to be a song that does really well in Eurovision or wins, or if it's going to be one of those ballads that people like, but it will be placed somewhere in the middle in the final, because that might also happen. You never know from year to year, actually.
It's interesting. And maybe I'm biased, I don't know. But from the ones I've heard, it's the strongest. It's going to make people sit up and take notice. It's big enough to disrupt the show wherever it's
It was
placed.
a showstopper in Mello. It really was.
And it's going to be a showstopper in Eurovision, looking at what I've seen already from the entrance. So I think it was the best choice. The only other song that I think could have held a candle to it in Eurovision is Medina.
Yeah.
That's the only other song that I think if we'd have sent it, it had a really good chance of placing incredibly, incredibly well. And it's important to call out that they came third
Medina came third.
and Liamoo came fourth.
Yeah, and Medina did really well in both the audience vote and the jury votes.
Yeah, they were third for both jury and audience.
Yes.
That's exceptional. That just shows that their music and their songs speak to everybody on a pretty even level and a high level at that.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, and it's not just their pop music like Miss Decibel. People like their Hafla
Hafla.
trademark world music as
Oh,
well.
it's such a good song.
And considering they weren't a big favorite before the competition.
Oh no, they were like right down at the bottom, and then after their heat, they jumped up to kind of mid, and they still were like 5th or 6th favorite. They outperformed themselves, and I think they were surprised at their own performance as well. Sami did another.
Yes.
Which
And they're
was great.
they're going on tour now, so
Woo!
I think they're going to be really pumped for that.
Yes, if they were looking for a sign that Sweden, nay the world, needs their music right now, this is it.
Yes.
We need Medina.
A really successful reunion.
Yes. I wanted as well to call out that although I desperately wanted Anders Bagge to win and his song gave me the biggest emotional reaction, I acknowledge that outside of Sweden, people probably didn't get why we wanted him to win so much. And I think had he won, it would have been a carbon copy of what happened last year, where Tyssa won the hearts of Sweden, and we all knew who he was, where he'd come from, we knew his story. But it proved very difficult to translate that outside of Sweden, and part of Tyssa's charm was his story. And it's the same with Anders Bagge. Part of his charm is his story. If you're watching this from outside of Sweden and you don't understand why it meant so much to people, I suggest reading up a little bit about him, who he is. We've tried to explain it, but just know that in Sweden, it spoke to everyone across all age groups, just right in the heart. So let's wrap this up then. And I have one last question for you. And I have one last question for all of you as well in the comments. Could Sweden win Eurovision?
No.
I think yes.
And that's it for this Mello season. Thank you all for watching our videos.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We are not going away. We will still be releasing some videos. We're not 100% sure what, but if there's anything at all you want us to cover, let us know in the comment section down below. Please feel free to hit subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, we will be paying close attention to your suggestions and requests, because I think that's going to help us find our way through to Eurovision week. But I guess the only thing that's really left to say now is new stop me. Okay.
The end.
Bye bye.